Hello, everyone. If you have landed here, you've landed on Let's Talk News. This is the place where you get to lead the conversation about things that are going on in the news. I'm your host, Leticia Romero. This is an hour later than usual. So I hope that whoever's with me tonight will step up and drive this conversation. We're going to talk a little bit about Greenland. We're going to talk a little bit about Trump's foreign policy. We're going to talk about the coincidence with all of these protests in Greenland, in Iran, in Venezuela, in Minnesota, in New York. We want to talk about all that stuff. Hello, Francine. Thank you for joining us an hour late. And you too, Kevin, from the other side of the world. I guess it's morning there now. So maybe my hour delay was a little bit helpful for you. Maybe to grab another cup of coffee. And if you're joining me from Eastern time, did you grab another drink? I don't know. Good evening, Kevin. Good to have you. Hi, Karen. Thanks for watching. I'm so glad you are here. So I wish I had like a really interesting excuse about why I was late. Wait, I love this. 1 p.m. So it's 1 p.m. there and it's 9 o'clock here. All right. Okay. So I can't do the math. 3 and 12, 15, 14 hours. 14 hours. Am I right? You're 14 hours ahead of us. Hello, Debbie. Good to have you. And Andrew Dorman. Oh, you guys are the best that you joined me. So the reason I'm late is I forgot what day it was, and I scheduled going to movies and a dinner with family. And well, actually, I didn't forget what day it was, but we were talking about going for a matinee and then an early dinner, so I'd be home in time. And then somehow or another, that turned into going to the movies at 4 o'clock and then having dinner after, which was iffy if I would make it on time. So I said, you know what, better safe than sorry. Let me push it back an hour, and hopefully my friends will all join me. And here you all are. Hi, how are you, Angela Ricca? I went to see Song Sung Blue. It's my second time seeing it. I saw it when I was in Florida. Yep. Song Sung Blues. It's based on a true story about a couple that did they were singers, Neil Diamond Experience in Wisconsin. And it was really good. It was so good when I saw it with my girlfriend in Florida that I know my sister-in-law and brother-in-law are real Neil Diamond fans, and my husband is a musician, so he just loves music, and it was just fantastic. And 4 people, four adults for the movie, $41. 4 tickets, $41. Thank you. Well, but you guys are a part of my life. You're a big part of my life. So anyway, I'm glad that we're all here together, but here's the exciting part. So first of all, everybody, I would highly recommend seeing Song Sung Blue. What's his name? Hugh Jackman. I'm bad with movies in Hollywood. I forget people's name. Kate Hudson. They deserve Academy Awards, and I'm worried that they won't get one because it came out so close to this year's Academy Award. So I don't think they consider it, right, if it's in the same year. The director, I mean, it was just fantastic. It's set in the 80s. So many Neil Diamond songs, so many of the good ones. But one of the things that happened while I was there, okay, Karen saw it. Yeah, I never see a movie twice. Twice I saw it. It was so good. But what happened was I saw some trailers. And my sister-in-law and brother-in-law, who are my sister-in-law is conservative minded, and my brother-in-law is, they brought up in New York in Democratic household, so union and all that stuff. So lean always more Democrat. we saw the trailer for a movie that I'm going to show you the trailer, and they were both shocked. And we had a long talk about why this movie is coming out. So I'm going to show you the trailer in a minute. Let's see. Neil Diamond won the best, one of my favorite performers. Then you, Andrew, you got to go. Got to go. The movie theater was packed. We almost didn't get seats. That's what we were going to go to the 1 o'clock and we couldn't get seats. So, that's how it got moved back to 4. I like Diamond's Red Wine song. Yeah, let me tell you something. They played so many good songs. I mean, we were all singing in the theater. Hello, Susan Derema. Hello there, Sissy. Colleen, how are you? Okay, so here, in case you haven't seen it, here is the trailer. Where is it? Okay, here's the trailer that I saw. I'm going to play it, and then let's talk about it.
Here we go again.
You can come in. Come on in. My proudest legacy will be that of peacemaker.
Peacemaker under the fire. Beautiful. Together with like-minded leaders, we have a voice. Is it safe?
It is safe.
Everyone wants to know. So here it is. Hi, Mr. President. Congratulations.
Did you watch it?
I did not. Yeah, I will see it on the news.
So what do you think? I know that I'm buying my tickets for January 30th and I'm going to see it, but there is so much to unpack in that trailer, so much. And so, we were talking about why in the world, why would she make, my sister-in-law said, is she an actress? Was she acting in the movie? And I said, no, well, she was always a model, but no, the reason that she made the movie or the movie's been made was nobody covers her. We don't hear anything about her. We always heard about all the first ladies, but we never hear about her. Yeah, I'm definitely going to. And we all were laughing at that one part. Did you see it? No, I didn't. I'll catch it on the news. You tell me something. If Donald Trump was a dictator and an egomaniac and somebody that needs his ego stroked, would he let that be part of a movie? No, absolutely no. So I think that trailer and he was the one too. I remember when they were putting the trailer together and he said he saw it and he loved that part. He thought that part was the best. That says a lot about him and about how much he respects her and that he didn't have a problem with the world seeing that she doesn't, lay at his heels and just, oh, that's my man and I've got to, step up and protect him. She's her own woman. So I think that says a lot about not only her, but him. Yeah, classy lady for sure. I can't wait either. That's one of those things that you go maybe for, I don't know if they're going to show it in New York. I know that I saw the trailer in Florida and I saw it in, South Carolina. And those are two places too that they had the Scott Lebedo moving. But they didn't have it in a lot of blue areas. So I don't know how many theaters are actually going to pick it up, like Chicago or Philadelphia or Los Angeles. Do you think they're going to pick it up? I doubt it, seriously. Trump is no nonsense and respect is about no nonsense. He appreciates independence and he appreciates independent women. And as I said, if he was, some sort of misogynist bastard, there's no way he would have let that clip come out like that. And there was no way that he put the focus on Melania that way, right? While he's president, but he encouraged it. Apparently this was an independent, I don't want to get it wrong, but as I remember, and I could be totally wrong how this happened, is that it was an independent journalist who was following her around from for 20 days. They worked it out and they followed around, and he filmed everything, just, everything that wasn't top secret. Melania Trump is one of the best in trendsetter and history maker. Yes, she is, but you wouldn't know it. You know it. What magazine has she been in? What cover has she gotten? I mean, Jill had like 19 different covers. I think she got one, and they criticized her for wearing a suit. Please, I can't even. I think her no bullshit attitude is what keeps them together. Plus, he has a sense of humor. Yeah, he's got a really good sense of humor. Unfortunately, America's sense of humor went out the window when it became pussified. So we're slowly clawing our way back. The Atrium usually will pick it up here in Staten Island. Let's say, yeah. Well, yeah, I agree. I mean, he does a great job in the Atrium. He does. He really, he does. I think Staten Island, of all places, they would want to see her. But at any rate, I thought it was a great trailer. I think that 1 minute says a lot about her and about him and about where this country is right now. And it says a lot about the news media, that the fact that, did anybody else hear? She would be all over it's coming out. It's the 18th today. It's coming out in 12 days. Normally when something like this would be going on, good morning, good day, New York, good morning, America, The View, right? Everybody would be interviewing her to talk about why this happened, why they made the film, what it was all about, blah, 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 blah. Nope, nobody's heard about it. I heard about it one time from his mouth, and I can't remember who was interviewing him and how I heard it. I guess it was when her book was coming out, because he was so proud of her with that book, which I haven't gotten yet, so I have to get it. I'm still reading, the Capitol, the January 6th stuff, but I'm going to read that book. Because of her being ignored, we'll make it a smash hit. I hope you're right. We should try to go as a group and get a bite to eat. That's a great idea, you guys. You should all organize together, get to the Atrium, have something to eat. Get the women, the strong, tough women out there, the conservative women, get together and go see it. Oh yeah, my 2 thumbnails fixes. Oh, good. Okay, now I'm happy. I'm techie, but I'm not great always, especially when it's new. And this was a whole new thing that YouTube and StreamYard was trying out, and I didn't think that it was successful. But here we are, we're okay. Meanwhile, she's a female immigrant success story. Yeah, but do you remember when she gave that speech in the Rose Garden, and everybody, all the women in the View were making fun of her? She can't even speak English, they said. I mean, it's amazing to me. But I think that we have a strong first lady, and I think that we have a president who is who adores her, and she adores him. And I think that, oh wait, my dog is no, come here, no barking. There's a child going upstairs with the dog, so my little dog was ready to go crazy. Yeah, so I think that anybody that doesn't see them as a power couple and some people who share their world together, then, I don't know what they're smoking. But we know that there's plenty of people smoking plenty of stuff, because that's kind of what I wanted to talk about a little tonight. And I know we spent half the show talking about Melania, which I think it was well worth it, because what else is going out there is really off-putting to me. So we're going to talk about Greenland. And if you saw in the news, they're covering the protests now in Greenland. Did anybody see it? I'm going to play the whole news story from Al Jazeera, so that you can see the protesters in Greenland. And I want you to tell me what you think is familiar to you. Okay? Hold on a second. The fake media sucks. They never tell the truth. Yeah. And that's interestingly, right? When I speak to my Democrat or moderate or liberal-leaning friends, or even my Republican friends from New York, I was just talking to one of my friends who's a good conservative, and the information that they have doesn't match the information I have. And I know one of us isn't getting all the information. And if that's the case, that means that in those blue cities and states, mostly the sanctuary cities, they're not telling the whole story. So a majority of seniors who watch ABC, NBC, CBS are not getting the whole story. People who watch CNN are not getting the whole story. They're getting more than ABC, CBS, and NBC. And I'm not saying that Fox News is the only one that tells the whole story, because sometimes, they can go overboard in the other direction. But I like that Fox has been having a lot of Democrats on recently. So you do get both sides of the story. Let's see. How many first ladies had a movie named after them, acted in a movie while acting as first lady to the president? None. And the reason that it's necessary is because the media is not covering her. They're pretending she doesn't exist. They're pretending that Trump is not the president and that he's somehow an illegitimate president, even though, there was no question about the electoral integrity, like there was with Biden. They're just pretending that somehow he's an illegitimate president and she's not the first lady. And it drives me crazy. Unfortunately, they're believing the lies because that's all they get. If that's all you see, what would you believe? Why would you go looking somewhere else? Half the time when I look for the other side of the story, it's because I look at things like Al Jazeera or the BBC or other, foreign news entities. But that's my life. Politics is my life. So looking for the truth is something that I do on a regular. People don't want to get up and think about their president, their country, and politics. They don't. Majority of people. Only sick people like me want to do that. They don't want the truth. No, they don't. Okay, so watch what's going on in Greenland. This is from Al Jazeera.
These are confusing times for Greenland. Deepest midwinter should not be mild enough for rain here, but the Arctic is warming 2 to 4 times faster than the rest of the planet. And as Greenlanders took to the slushy Nuuk streets in the thousands to protest against Donald Trump's claims on their homeland, the weather added to a sense of powerlessness at a world in flux. A demonstration like this is an effort to make sure Greenlanders' voices are heard.
I'm quite worried, I would say. I feel it in my work every day, and I have a small daughter, 7 months, and I want her to grow up with a future that she can decide, or at least this is decided upon by our people.
We love our country, and our land, culture, and raw materials are ours. We don't want the Trump and his billionaires to come here and steal our raw materials. We don't want to have it.
And do you think he will? Do you think there is going to be?
Could be, but the NATO soldiers are here. Mm-hmm. So I think we are protected somehow.
But the recent arrival in Greenland of military personnel from Denmark's European NATO allies has angered Donald Trump. He's announced 10% tariffs on Denmark, the UK, France, Germany, Norway, Sweden, the Netherlands and Finland, rising to 25% in June, unless they agree to the complete and total purchase of Greenland by the United States. With Europe calibrating a response, Greenlanders are almost unanimous in how they feel about Greenland's future.
Not for sale! Not for sale! Not for sale!
Now remember, Greenland's population is tiny and its capital Nuuk has fewer people in it than many smallish European towns, 19,000 people. So this is a really, really big turnout, a clear and unambiguous expression of Greenlandic feeling.
What is a deepening crisis of sovereignty for the people of Greenland is also a deepening crisis for a transatlantic partnership being pushed to breaking point. European countries have promised to stand up for Denmark and the right of Greenlanders to make their own choices. But Donald Trump is testing how much they mean that. Rory Challens, Al Jazeera, Nuuk.
So, Greenland, 57,000 people. 19,000 in Nuuk. That was quite a crowd. And they all had flags and signs Look familiar? That's why they watch Jimmy Kimmel, The View, etc. to fortify their own beliefs. Yeah, well, Trump is only a dictator to Democrats, socialists. Absolutely. There are more people protesting than live there. Thank you, Debbie. As always, you're spot on. Doesn't China already own some of their mineral rights? They don't. They don't. But the whole thing and why Greenland is an issue, and remember, we talked about this the other day. Truman wanted to buy Greenland, and we have a military base there, America. We've been defending them at our cost all these years. They don't pay us any money, but we've been defending them. Sounds like indoctrination organizations in full force. They're affecting the people that live there. There you go. Those global elitists. I didn't realize they look Asian. Yeah, and they're not indigenous. They did come over, but they're not indigenous in Greenland. Greenland has had a lot of people owning them, including Eric the Red settled it. It was either him or his son settled Greenland. He was actually excommunicated to Greenland. And if you go on YouTube, you'll find the whole history of Greenland from back in the Viking days. Mr. Trump is a very valid elected, and I think the other side is a little shady and concerning. Yeah. So they're acting like Trump. They're acting like Trump is going to steal their land. But meanwhile, we have China and Russia parked out on the outskirts of Greenland. And this is what's provoking Trump to move. Because if China and Russia get hold of Greenland and take over our military base in Greenland, then they can send a nuclear weapon to America, and America will fall into a basically an impotent position in the world. And isn't that what this was all about from the beginning, right? The global elitists. And isn't it interesting that Al Jazeera is, carrying the story? So, what's going on? My father served in Greenland in World War II. Yeah, I mean, that's when it all started. And then Truman wanted to buy it, when we bought Alaska and Hawaii. I mean, this is not ridiculous. This is military strategy. This is what you need to do to protect a world power, especially when you have nefarious characters like China and Russia trying to take over. And I mean, so now they're saying, no, Mr. Trump, you can't have it. And we're going to fight you. We're going to put our military there to fight you for it. So what? And then they're all going to fight Russia and China after. And what happens if they defeat us? Are we going to join in them to keep Russia and China out? So we got to think about it. This is a chess game. Get rid of NATO. I agree. Why are Chinese people there? Is because Chinese wants to get it, so Chinese people got sent. No, that's not so. They are the people that live in Greenland. They are they came over, and I don't want to say this incorrectly. They are Asian looking, but they are not Asian. Think of Eskimo. Think of the people in Alaska. Very similar tribes, very similar people. It's not what the governments think about Mr. Trump, but the people in Al Jazeera is CNN. Yes, absolutely. And I love how they did that whole global warming thing on top of it. Trump is getting our Alaskan troops to move in. Yeah, he's ready. But the thing that struck me was the signs and the flags. We see that in the street in Minneapolis. We see it in the streets of New York. We see it everywhere. The only place that we didn't see it is in Venezuela, when the people took to the streets to celebrate their emancipation, or what they're hoping is their emancipation from Trump, and what's looking like is the emancipation from Maduro because of Trump. And it seems like it's happening. So let's see. So ABC, when Venezuelans took to the street, let's just see. This is a picture. Okay. There's a couple of flags, but where are all the printed signs? Why aren't there thousands of Venezuelan flags here? why? What's going on? How come? And then when it came to Venezuela and the people celebrating in the street, this is how ABC carried it. Okay, Venezuelan diaspora divided over U.S. capturing of leader Maduro, and they did not show. These are not Venezuelan. These are not people in Venezuela. This picture. This is. These are people in around the world who were actually celebrating. So they say that people are divided. That's ABC. They said the people were divided, but the people of Venezuela were not divided. They were very happy about it. Here's NBC. Venezuelans send letters to Maduro in jail. Okay, so that's NBC's coverage of what's going on in Venezuela. So never that the Venezuelans were, cheering in the streets and families. You saw that, but only on social media. You didn't see it on mainstream media. And I thought that was interesting. And here now, Iran, right? People are covering Iran. Here are women in Iran who are protesting and hoping that America will come save them. And if you see their homemade signs that they're carrying. But then in other places, here are all these printed signs, which I find interesting because now I don't know if this is, again, this is what's in the newspapers right now. But where did those signs come from? And that's being broadcast. Okay, that's being broadcast, and then people are being hung and killed for actually being out in the street protesting. So what am I getting at here? I think there are people, we've talked about this many times, global elitists around the world that are playing on the chessboard, and they're not playing above board. I think we're seeing people who are whose affections lie with China, pushing the people in Greenland to protest against Trump. I think they're funding them. I think that we're seeing people pushing the protesters in Iran to cause more chaos. I'm not saying that their protests shouldn't occur. This is a time that they can topple, but it's pissing off, right? It's making tensions fly high between Trump and not the Shah, but why can't I think of his name now? Okay, but you know who I'm talking about. But the Iranian leader. I think that there's a bunch of really rich people, the ones that go to Davos and, make decisions for around the world. And they're all hooked in with the UN. And I think that they're playing a game of risk, and they're playing it against Donald Trump and America. I think that Donald Trump has the upper hand, but this stuff is not happening on its own. They're trying to get him to play on many fronts all at the same time. I'm not going to say it's nervous making, but I am going to say that it's not what I would like to see. And I don't think it's what the American people wanted to see, but we have no choice, right? It had to happen. Trump made his move in Venezuela to bring Russia and China to heel. And then they went to their friends in Iran, and they stirred up shit. So let's see. Trump is getting our Alaskan troops to move in. I think I said that already. Who has more minerals, Australia or Greenland? Protecting our military position is very important and smart. I thought Greenland was part of Denmark. No, you're right. It is. Well, Denmark consumed it, but Greenland wants to be all on their own. But they don't have the money or the people to defend the territory. They're like, think of them as teenagers who want your car and your money, but they don't want you to tell them what to do. So you can't do it. Our military base has been keeping them safe. If they want us to pull up stakes, and we won't, because then China and Russia will just move right in. But it's like, they're creating the chaos so that it looks like Trump is out of control. It's a total network, just like the fraud network is not only in Minnesota. Absolutely. Said that Iran isn't getting coverage. Ayatollah, thank you. Too many things go on in my mind. Denmark currently does have Greenland. Yes, Denmark, is part of Greenland, and they want to be free. But you can't be free. You don't have the capacity to protect yourself. And the only reason they're part of NATO is because of Denmark. Yeah, Ayatollah, thank you, everybody. They have less people than Staten Island. Yeah, absolutely, 56,000 and all of that in Greenland. But it's worth it to take a look. They have always been a military strategy. Hitler wanted Greenland. Everybody wanted Greenland at some point in time, and the last bid was from Truman. So it's not ridiculous. And this protest is to try to belittle Trump, but Trump is going to the Economic Forum next week. So we're going to see. We're going to have that conversation. If America just pulled out of NATO, NATO would crumble. He did get them to put in more money, but not nearly enough. And I've got to say that Russia right now, they're in a good bargaining position, right? Because if America pulls out, then they can move in. If America is fighting on all sides, then they can move in. Russia and China. So Venezuela was a key point. It was a really big key point, and Trump knows it. And Greenland's the other big point, and he's not going to let it go. So we're 2 minutes over. I want to thank you all for joining, and I want you to think about Greenland. I want you to really think about it. I want you to pray for it. I want you to think about it, because we're going to hear a lot more about it. And I've already written and asked, he needs to pull out ICE from these non-cooperative cities. It's just too much. We're fighting on too many areas, and we don't need to be fighting at home. We need to have a little bit of peace and satisfaction at home, and let's focus what's going on out there. By the way, I think everybody in South Carolina is noticing that prices are coming down, gas prices especially, but food and everything else. I think that others will see it in the next couple of months, which is going to be really helpful. Okay, saw something that said that with ice melting, new shipping channel could open and streamline shipping. Yeah. Well, that's everybody wants that, right? But more importantly, we don't want Russia and China able to shoot a nuclear missile at America. That's the big deal. WHO, CDC, NIH, and the World Economic Forum are the most corrupt. They were formulated to bring America to their knees. And idiot pussies who sat in the White House went along with it. So stupid. Good night, everybody. Good night. Thanks, Colleen. All right. I'll see you tomorrow, 8 o'clock, regular time. Thanks for watching.